Three. Are we ready, by the way?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I am.
Merry Thanksgiving. Welcome to Oddball. I'm Amin Elhassan. That over there in New England is Charlotte Wilder. Charlotte, have the leaves started changing colors and all the other stuff people goo over about the Northeast in the fall?
Um, yeah, the leaves are all gone and it's raining, so sort of. People don't talk about that, I mean, but yeah, I've got this Thanksgiving table behind me.
We got a great show for you guys today. It's Wednesday, so Charlotte, you know what to do with your fists. It's Word Count Wednesday, but it's also a day before Thanksgiving, so we're gonna have our own little helpful conversation, uh, uh tutorial. We know there's a lot of awkward discussions that happen with family around the Thanksgiving table, so we'll help you work through some of those that have to do with the NBA. A little bit on that later. But first, we start Charlotte in court, not on court, but in court, because details of the Knicks lawsuit against the Toronto Raptors have emerged. Now, if you remember back in the summertime, the Knicks accused the Toronto Raptors and a former video coordinator of theirs who is now on the Raptors staff of stealing intellectual property by stealing scouting reports and a bunch of other stuff. Talked about it, Charlotte. Remember, we were surprised. Why didn't you go through the league? Why would you actually go to court to sue?
Mm-hmm.
And we got a little bit more detail. Why, Charlotte? Do you know why the Knicks decided to sue as opposed to going through the regular NBA channels?
Yes, I mean, the Knicks were apparently worried about bias from the league in favor of the Toronto Raptors because Raptors owner Larry Tenenbaum is the chairman of the NBA Board of Governors and therefore Adam Silver's boss. And not only that, hold on to your hats, Adam Silver has said that Larry is a role model for him. So the Knicks were like, okay, why are we going to go through the league when, clearly these guys are pals also, though?
I love that the bias comes from like, oh, Adam likes Larry Tenenbaum and everyone likes the Raptors, and not we're the most detestable organization in the entire league.
Yeah, they
That's
could
the
have just
bias.
said, yeah, they
Yeah.
could have just said it. They could have been like, well, everybody hates us
Mm-hmm.
and our owner, but instead we're going to say they really like that guy. So that's sort of where we are at this point. And now we know why they're going to court, although the
Yep.
Raptors don't seem to think there's a lot there.
Yeah, the Raptors are pointing to a specific thing in the NBA Constitution that says if there's a problem between two of the franchises, the commissioner shall be the sole arbiter of all of these things. The Knicks counters that A does not, nothing in the Constitution addresses intellectual property, IP. And so this is an unprecedented occurrence, number one. And number two is the commissioner is limited to how much he can fine a franchise for damages. $10 million is the maximum. And the Knicks are alleging that more than $10 million of damage has occurred. Bullshit. So so everyone's like, okay, so this is a little bit more details about this lawsuit. So what's the big deal? The big deal is that Jim Dolan has stepped down from all of his positions on the different mini boards that they have on the Board of Governors, like the Advisory Finance Committee and the Media Committee, to which I might editorialize and say, don't let the door hit you. Where the good Lord split you, good sir. Get the hell on. But so yes, he's doing the pouty, well, nobody likes me and nobody cares about my opinion, so I'm just gonna go home. As if, I don't know, he wants the other governors to please don't leave, James. Come on. We'll do some of your stupid ideas.
He did say, too, given all that's going on and didn't elaborate, that could be the lawsuit. I'm hoping it's some other stuff that we don't know about yet.
There's all this going on. He's got other properties that he's got to run, is the other thing he said. And he's right. He's got to run that Sphere out in Vegas that is hemorrhaging money.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is.
you're absolutely right.
It's also what he's saying when he said, I have to do everything else that my services will be welcome. I mean, It's the same thing he said to me when I asked him in 2017 why he wasn't at the draft. He said, I think playing a concert the night of the draft shows you how much I care about this team. And he said that to the New York Times this year. Like, he just keeps saying it, and it keeps not mattering.
So if you, by the way, if you're a Knicks fan and you're like, oh, they're always hating on the Knicks for clicks, like, buddy, this is your owner who's doing this, not me. Like, the Warriors are incredibly popular. They sell a lot of money. They sell a lot of tickets. They sell a lot of merch. They draw a lot of attention. We don't do Warrior stories like that. We don't do Lakers stories like that. Why? Because they're not in the clown show. They're not in the circus. So put on that red nose, put on that makeup, get ready for your day. All right, moving on.
Yes.
We had tournament games last night, and we've got some clarity, Charlotte. Some clarity, finally. It's not just games. Now we've got games that matter, because last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers outlasted the Sixers in overtime, and as a result, Philly is all but dead in the water in terms of making it to the knockout round in the in-season tournament. So the winner of each one of these groups is automatically in, and then the wild card gets in too. So that's the best of the non-winners. As you can see, if you're undefeated, you pretty much won your division. If you've got one loss, there's an outside chance that you might be able to win your group. But now you're also competing with all the other one-loss teams for that wild card spot. If you got two losses, it's pretty much a wrap. And so the Sixers last night with their loss to the Cavs, they're all but out. The Jazz with their loss to the Lakers, they're pretty much out as well. The Suns win last night against the Blazers. They've got one loss, so they've got hope alive here, Charlotte. But they're basically now competing against all the other one-loss teams for that wild card spot in the West. And so basically what you have to do is you got to run up scores. And that's something that's going to be working against them, working against the Cleveland Cavaliers as well, as their quest for a wild card spot in the East is, did you run up scores? Because point differential head-to-head is the first tiebreaker, but then point differential is the next tiebreaker. And I think every time you win, or you're trying to be modest or demure in the way you play, you're actually working against yourself.
Well, and that seemed to surprise Chauncey Billups last night when the Suns had all their starters in the last, up until the last 50 seconds of the game. And Chauncey looked a little confused. And then afterwards, it looked like when they were all shaking hands and hugging each other, he was laughing. It felt like he realized that point differentials might actually matter in this situation. I think I saw Devin Booker mouth something like, we got to get the points or something like that, which it made me feel better that some coaches, that the math of all of this is also
Eric Spoelstra had the same thing happen to him when they played Washington
someone's got to tell these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's new and the strategy sometimes is counter what NBA kind of decorum is. NBA decorum is you're up big, you sit your starters, but this is different. This is like playing in the World Cup or at the Olympics, where how much you score in the group stage matters. And point differential is a tiebreaker, and the next one is just straight up points scored. So shout out to all the teams that are running it up. By the way, speaking of points, shout out to Kevin Durant last night, passed Elvin Hayes for 11th on the all-time scoring list. That's pretty remarkable. Pretty remarkable stuff. One last thing as we look forward, because we don't have shows tomorrow and Friday for the Thanksgiving holiday. Friday, the Bucks play the Wizards.
Yep.
And the Heat play the Knicks. Now, this is important because both the Bucks and the Heat are 2-0 in their group. So I'm going to pencil in a Milwaukee win against Washington. For the Heat, it's a weird situation where you could say win or lose. They got to win on the following Tuesday when they play Milwaukee, and here's why. If the Heat and the Bucks both win on Friday, they both go into Tuesday's game 3-0, and basically the winner of that game will end up winning the group. However, if the Bucks win against the Wizards and the Heat lose against the Knicks, so now the Bucks are 3-0 and the Heat are 2-1, on Tuesday, the Heat have an opportunity to still win the group, Charlotte, by beating the Bucks, because they'll both have the same record, but the head-to-head will say that Miami beat Milwaukee. And I guess the opposite is true, that Milwaukee can lose on Friday against the Wizards, but still win the group by beating the Heat on Tuesday. So I say all this to say that Friday is important. Friday is important for who might win wild card in the East, but next Tuesday is going to be huge for who wins the group and clinches going on to the knockout stage in Charlotte.
Yes.
It's a big game. It's in Miami.
And
what are you doing on Tuesday?
I don't know. I thought maybe I'd just like go to the game.
Let's go to a game. How about that? Oddball, live from Miami.
Can't wait.
We here at Oddball, we perform a lot of services. When guys are feeling down, Charlotte, what do?
Hype them up.
Yeah, there we go. And when they can't handle their emotions or they're struggling with their current situation, we give them some life advice as life coaches. We even help you guys figure out who's lying, right? So we know it's the holidays. Families are coming together. Different generations of families are coming together. Being thankful. But also, awkward conversations happen around the table. And there are questions that maybe some of your older family members might ask you that you don't quite know how to handle or answer without creating an incident or a scene. We have pre-selected some of the most common questions that old people have. And we're going to help you figure out how to answer them, Charlotte, in the little segment we like to call Thankful.
Yes, I'm just really excited to be providing this service to our loyal viewers. People talk about this with politics, like how am I going to deal with these thorny issues of this day and age of a divided nation and fractured world, and nobody thinks about how difficult it is to explain some of the things happening in the NBA. So, without further ado, Thankful.
Oh, my heartburn, killing me. Yeah, I remember back in my day, guys would play, and then if they did anything on the side, it was a job. Plumber, fireman, policeman. You got what's the deal with this kid with the horses? That's why I keep hearing about horses.
Yes, that is Nikola Jokic. He is the reigning Finals MVP, actually, but he really loves his horses. He's from Serbia.
From where? Is that by exit 15 on the turnpike?
No, Grandpa, that's across, that's overseas. That's in Europe.
Oh, they have basketball there now. Wow.
Yeah, actually, there are a lot more international players in the league these days. You might have noticed a lot of names ending with that itch sound.
The only itch sound I get is when your grandmother's around. You know what I'm saying?
I turned on the game the other night, and there were all these words on the court. What is this? What's going on?
Well, Auntie, you probably were watching the Miami Heat play, I'm guessing, because they're the only ones that I know that have actual words on the court.
What's the deal? What did the words say? Was it like plays written out for the players? Is that cheating?
Oh no, no, it's like their little slogan. So this is a special edition court that they have when they're wearing their culture jerseys. The Miami Heat organization is really big on culture, and like their mission statement, I guess, Auntie, is the hardest working, best conditioned, most professional, unselfish, toughest, meanest, nastiest team in the NBA. And that's what they wrote on the court there because it's all part of like their whole persona and stuff.
Oh, that's very interesting because my personal trainer at my gym has the exact same thing written on the wall. So I wonder if he could sue for copyright infringement.
Your personal trainer?
Yes, I'm in.
The hardest working, best conditioned, most professional, unselfish, toughest, meanest, nastiest team in the NBA is on his wall?
No, well, yeah, everything up to team in the NBA. Personal trainer in the game is how he ends it.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's just a lovely coincidence, and he hasn't, ripped them off or anything like that. And you're going to a trainer. That's awesome.
Yes, they stay strong, women stay young. So this is why I look so beautiful.
Charlotte, I was watching, and I saw this guy. He dominated. I'm absolutely dominating on the court. Now his name was James. Last name was James. I wanted to know if is he related to the LeBron James that played all the way back there in the 2000s?
That is LeBron James. He's still playing. He's 39 years old.
No. This guy was not an old guy. He was dunking on people. He had a triple double. He's scoring points. He wasn't missing a shot. No, this got to be the son. He's related to him, right? Or maybe he's a nephew.
No, Grandpa, that is LeBron. I know it's miraculous. He looks like he's still very young, and for most people, he's not old. But in basketball,
Charlotte, he was dunking on. He was running up and down the court like he was 22 years old. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking. I know what I saw. I know what I saw.
No, his son. He has a son. Maybe you were watching a rerun of some high school basketball games, but the man you were watching.
This was an NBA. This wasn't a high school. You don't think I know what the NBA looks like? I was watching the NBA when you couldn't even piss without doing it in a diaper. You want to tell me what the NBA? I know what the NBA is. This guy played in the NBA, and his name was James. And I think you don't know. I think this is the son of that guy that I used to watch way back in the day with your father.
Sure. But you know what? Yeah, that was LeBron James Jr. Sometimes folks at home, sometimes you just have to let them win, even if they're wrong. Now, Amin, my dear, who is I know you watch a lot of basketball. Who is that lovely young man dating Taylor Swift?
Oh, it's Travis Kelce. He doesn't play basketball. He plays football. He plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, I'm pretty sure there was a lovely young man. He looks very nice. And it was rumored that he is actually dating Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce, that I don't know who that is.
It's Travis Kelce. You're thinking of Travis Kelce. He's tall. He looks like, I guess, if you just saw him standing next to Taylor Swift, he looks very tall. So you might confuse him for a basketball player. I assure you he's a football player. And they are dating. Yeah.
No, I am pretty sure I am right about this. That a football player, he has all that facial hair and maybe an earring. This is a nice, clean-cut young man who he is on some billboards, I believe, maybe in a warm weather place. His the color of his skin is white.
Do you mean Austin Reeves?
That's the one.
Oh my God. All right, Auntie. Austin Reeves, yes, he does play for the Lakers. And yes, there was a rumor in the summertime that he was dating Taylor Swift, but he cleared that up pretty quickly. And America loves him. What's that about?
He could get any young lady he wants. I'm going to tell your cousin Charisse to look him up next time she's in the city where he plays that I cannot remember.
You know what? I'm thinking about you were talking about guys coming from other places overseas that they play basketball, and I was amazed. I saw this one kid. He's I think he's African or something. I can't remember his name. He's really, really tall though. What's his name? Shamalama. Wamalama Ding Dong.
No, I think you were thinking of Victor Wembanyama. He's actually French.
No. This kid trust me, he was African. I would have known if he was French.
He's French. He played for a professional team in Paris before coming to the NBA.
Sweetheart, maybe you're thinking of another guy. This guy, I'm clearly African. I mean, you could see it too. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Should we switch to water?
I don't know. I mean, did you check his birth certificate?
Okay.
So what's the deal with this kid? All right, so he's French. So okay. What's his deal?
He's very, very good. He's probably going to be the next greatest basketball player that we've seen in this country. He plays for the Spurs.
The next greatest basketball player. What? I didn't know you could be great and surrender. We had to pull their chestnuts out the fire a couple of times. You don't know these things. You kids nowadays don't know anything about history.
You're right. And on second thought, maybe we should just pour you more whiskey. There is a young Canadian fellow, I believe. His name is David Brooks. Who what is his? Everybody, I feel like I hear young people complaining about him. What is his deal?
Dylan Brooks. You don't want to know.
Oh, David Brooks writes those op-eds.
I was watching some games last night or Tuesday night it was in the courts. Oh my God. I thought there was something wrong with my television set. I had to hit the old Magnavox on the side to kind of get the picture right, wouldn't get right. Charlotte, what's going on? What's up with all these colors?
So that is the in-season tournament, Grandpa. They have
the in what?
The in-season tournament, Grandpa. They have the courts are different colors so that you know that these are tournament games when you
No, I'm not talking about college. Charlotte, you keep talking about, I'm talking about NBA. I'm talking about National Basketball Association. You keep talking about these college and high school and LeBron's son and what are you talking about, Charlotte?
I know it's confusing, Grandpa, but it's the in-season tournament, and the way that it works is there are stages of groups playing each other, and they at the I think something's burning. That is definitely the turkey is definitely. Grandpa, you hold tight. I will. I gotta go put out some fires.
What groups? What are you talking about? Why can't anyone explain this thing to me? Kids these days. Let me watch some Bucky Buckerson highlights. Charlotte, get the YouTube ready. I want to watch Bucky Buckerson. Well, Charlotte, we promised the people a word count. I know we've had a lot in the show today, but we've got one word count question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thankful for in the NBA this season?
I'm so happy you asked, Amin, because I happen to have a list right here.
A list?
Yeah, in case I forgot. The problem is a lot of these have more. I'm going to read them to you, and then I'm going to explain a few of them.
Okay. It's 10 words or less, though. As you read off a list.
Damn it. Lillard. Horses. Sphere. Boston. The Alamo. Fat Joe. Summer League.
Wow. That's like the entirety of Oddball right there from July until now.
Yeah, I thought I'd put together a handy little. I don't know if any of those even need to be expanded upon.
If you've been watching the show, you know that Charlotte just hit the highlight of every moment in the show so far. Okay, well then mine's gonna sound a little stupid then, because I was gonna say Tyrese Halliburton. This guy's incredible.
That's it. That's all. You're only thankful for Tyrese Halliburton.
Well, okay, well, let me give some other ones. All right. Tyrese Halliburton, Jordan Poole, opposite ends of the spectrum. There you go.
There you go.
It's like the NBA is about greatness, but it's also about like hilarity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at Tyrese Halliburton and you look at someone who is ascending to a level of stardom, I don't know how many people saw this for him in his future. I know I spoke to his head coach about him when he was coming out in the draft, and he spoke very highly about him. I spoke to Tyrese coming out in the draft, and then after he got Sacramento, and then after he got traded to Indiana. And he's always been kind of positive and forward thinking, but I don't think he's ever thought that he would be this. Or maybe he did. I don't know. But what we're seeing is a guy who's shooting 50, 40, 90 at an insane clip, 25 points a game. Oh, and by the way, among the league leaders in assists. And the way he plays the game, Charlotte, I kind of almost gave up on seeing point guards at a star level play like that. There's still some guys who are role players who play the point guard position the way it was meant to be played. But I think Tyrese Halliburton is doing it at a star level. And I thought that was gone. I thought we were done for. So he's been a joy to watch. And then on the other end of the spectrum, Jordan Poole. God, I love being right so much.
Listen.
It's just a culmination of like, I told you, this is who he is. And if you're not going to be good, you might as well be as entertainingly bad as possible. And so,
I mean, when I close my eyes, I see him rolling that ball down the court, following it with his bent over his back, just like watching this ball go, thinking he's stopped the clock. And I am grateful. I thank the basketball gods every day for gifts like that.
It's not just that he's thinking that the clock is stopped. It's that he looks at the clock and he's like, "Oh, what are you guys doing? It's clock still going." And everyone's staring at him like, "Buddy, do you know the rules of the game that you're playing right now?"
Oh God.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan. Hey,
Thank you.
happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanks for watching Oddball. Happy birthday, America. Are we still on the air?
And now, another session with an NBA life coach.
Jordan, hi. Thank you so much for
hold
taking
on, Doc. Let me just, I got to finish sending this DM real quick.
Okay, Jordan.
I know, right?
Maybe we can put the device down for our session here.
Huh?
I think we have if we could put the device down.
I guess.
I'm not even asking for airplane mode. Just put it aside for a moment.
It's aside.
I think we have a lot to go over here. Maybe if you could also turn the watch off.
Fine. Okay.
I think focus is a big part of what might be going on in your life, but I want to hear from you. I know you're new to Washington. I think that's partly why your team has suggested you come see me. How are you doing?
Life's awesome. I'm rich. I'm a world champion. They can never take that away from me. And now I got my own team. And I know what to do. It's my team. I got this. And I don't see why everyone's complaining. They haven't talked about the Wizards this much since since they were called the Bullets or whatever they were called back in the day. You know, I didn't watch basketball back then. I'm too young for that, baby. But no, man, I'm like, everything's cool. And me and Coos, we got a great thing going. We got a nickname that's cool. Can't remember what people call us, but it's a cool nickname. I know that one. And everything's awesome. I mean, I'm rich. And I got a cool nickname with my teammate, and I make the team more popular. And everyone's talking about this show, Oddball. They talk about us like every freaking day. I mean, Doc, what could be worse? I mean, what's bad in my life? That's what you should ask. That's a short answer. The answer is nothing.
Okay. This is not a place for judgment. This isn't a good or a bad. The Wizard, your team currently is 14th in the Eastern Conference. There are 15 teams. Do you feel at all that maybe some of the attention might not be the kind that deep down you're really seeking out?
I'm a doer. I'm a giver. But in order to give, sometimes someone has to be ready to receive. And I don't know if my teammates are ready to receive what I have to give. I have championship knowledge, championship credentials. What do they have? I mean, well, what? Like Corey Kispert? What does he have? What does he have to offer? Tyus Jones? He looks like Malcolm in the Middle. Come on. I'm Jordan freaking Poole, baby. I'm the third Splash brother. But now I done took the splash and I took it all the way out to Washington. I'm workshopping that one. You got a nice preview right there.
Yeah, no, I think maybe a little more work, but we'll get there. There were reports, and I usually I like my patients to bring information to me. I do think in this case it's relevant. That maybe the Wizards had acquired you in order to flip you to then build trade value. So how would it feel if you weren't a part of their long-term team and organizational goals?
Say that again?
Perhaps part of the trade from the Warriors to the Wizards, which involved you, of course, could have been maybe to build value for the Wizards to then send you somewhere else for value in return.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, okay. I thought you were aware. I thought this was part of why you were here today.
You mean they don't want me either?
Jordan,
no one ever wants me. Everyone wants to send me away all the time. What is this? I thought I had a home. Go
Golden State gave me all that money. I said, oh, I'm going to buy a house in San Francisco. I'm going to live here forever. And then one day Steph is going to retire, and then it'll be me. I'm going to be the unanimous 2-time MVP, and I'm going to win my own championships. And then they sent me away after a stupid final. I look a bunch of, I hate him. And I got to watch it. I was like, well, maybe this is not so bad. Maybe I could do my own thing here. And the stupid Kyle Kuzma shooting whatever he is. And now you're telling me they don't want me to?
No, Jordan. No one doesn't want you. You are valued, you are loved, and unfortunately, that is all the time we have today. I believe you are also.
You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want. I don't need any of this. You know what? Bullshit. Hey, you know what? Hey,
okay.
I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you. My lawyer's gonna be in contact with you. You have.
Thank you. I think I have better lawyers than you.